I am 91 years old, and my time is running out. And when you reach this point in life, something strange happens. You stop caring about being polite, you stop caring about pleasing people, and you start caring about one thing only: the truth. Before I go, I need to tell you something dangerous, something uncomfortable, something that might change the way you see your entire life. I am going to reveal the most dangerous lie you have ever heard. It's a lie your parents taught you. It's a lie your friends repeat. It's a lie society rewards. And it is exactly why your chest feels tight with anxiety every single day. Last night, my 25-year-old grandson sat beside my bed. He didn't say anything at first. He just sat there, silent. And then I noticed his hands shaking. When I looked closer, he was crying. Not loudly, not dramatically, but the kind of crying that comes from deep exhaustion, the kind of crying that builds up over years. He told me he was tired, not just physically tired, but tired in his soul. He said he was sacrificing his dreams, his peace, his happiness, all of his youth, just to make the family proud. I looked into his eyes, those eyes that once were full of curiosity, energy, dreams. Now they looked heavy, like he was carrying a life that didn't belong to him. And I told him something that broke his heart. I said, "Stop. We are destroying you. Look at me. I have lived long enough to see everything fall apart. I survived my enemies. I survived my friends. I survived expectations, disappointments, betrayals. And now, sitting here, alone, surrounded by decades of memories, I can tell you a truth that most people only realize when it's too late. The deepest scars of my life, the regrets that wake you up at 3 a.m, the thoughts that don't let you breathe, they did not come from my enemies. They came from the people who loved me the most. If you are listening to this, you are just like my grandson. You believe something very dangerous. You believe that trusting your family, listening to your parents, following your friends, is the right thing to do. You believe that makes you a good person, but it doesn't. It makes you a prisoner. Right now, there is a silent trap in your life. It doesn't look like a trap. It looks like love. It looks like advice. It looks like care. But slowly, quietly, it is pulling you into a life of regrets. And the worst part? You are smiling while it happens. Let me explain how this trap works. When we are young, we are lost. The world feels chaotic. The future feels uncertain. Responsibilities feel heavy. So we look for a map. And naturally, we look at the people closest to us. Our parents, our siblings, our friends. We think they love me, so they must know what's best for me. That is the mistake, the biggest mistake of your life. We confuse love with wisdom. We confuse blood with destiny. I remember when I was 26, there was a fire inside me, a real fire. I wanted to travel. I wanted to write. I wanted to explore the world, to understand life beyond routines, beyond rules, beyond expectations. I didn't want a predictable life. I didn't want a suit, a tie, and a safe existence. But one day, my father called me to talk. I still remember his face. He wasn't angry, he was afraid. And fear can sound a lot like authority. He told me to accept a safe job. He told me dreams were for fools, that life was about security, that stability was everything. And I trusted him. Of course I did. He was my father. So I took the job. I wore the suit, and little by little, I buried the fire inside me. It took me decades to understand what really happened. He wasn't guiding me. He was protecting himself. He wasn't speaking from my potential. He was speaking from his fears. He didn't see my dreams. He saw his nightmares. So when I say, don't trust anyone, I don't mean hate people. I mean understand them. Your family cannot write your destiny. They see you through their pain, through their regrets, through their insecurities. When your mother tells you what to do, she is speaking from her wounds. When someone laughs at your dreams, they are speaking from their fear. People will cut your wings and call it protection, and you will accept it because it's easier. It's easier to let others decide. It's easier to follow a path that already exists. It's easier to fail on someone else's road than to risk everything on your own. Because if you fail their way, you can blame them. But if you fail your own way, there's no one else to blame. And that is why most people never try. But let me tell you something no one tells you. Regret is far worse than failure. Failure hurts for a moment. Regret stays for a lifetime. One day, you might find yourself alone, staring at the ceiling, thinking about the life you could have lived, the person you could have become, the dreams you abandoned to make others comfortable. There was a moment in my life when everything changed. I was in a hospital, old, weak, silent, looking out the window, and I realized something painful. A childhood friend, someone I trusted deeply, had betrayed me, not out of hate, but to protect their own image. It destroyed me. But in that silence, something became clear. People are just people. They are flawed. They are fragile. They are tired. They are afraid. They are fighting battles you will never see. And I was expecting perfection from someone imperfect. That was my mistake. So listen carefully. The only thing you truly own is your mind. Everything else can disappear. Family, friends, reputation, status, all of it can change. If your happiness depends on other people's approval, you will always be anxious. If your peace depends on never being disappointed, you will never have peace. At some point, I stopped waiting. I stopped expecting others to save me. I stopped expecting them to guide me. And I started building something inside myself, something no one could take away, a fortress, a mind that does not depend on anyone to exist in peace. Loving someone does not mean they know what's best for you. Love is not wisdom. Listen to your own voice, not the loud one, not the one shaped by fear, the quiet one, the one that speaks when everything else is silent. Because people change much faster than you think. The person beside you today will not be the same in a few years. And if you build your life on that, you will be disappointed. And the greatest mistake of all, placing your happiness in someone else's hands. No one can live your life for you. No one can feel your purpose for you. No one can build your peace for you. That is your responsibility. So what should you do? Build your inner fortress. Every time you face something alone, you strengthen it. Every difficult decision you make for yourself, you strengthen it. Every time you choose your own path, even when people disapprove, you strengthen it. Life will test you, and when it does, you will need a place inside yourself to stand. I am at the end of my journey, and I'm not telling you this to scare you. I'm telling you this to wake you up. You have one life, just one. Do not live someone else's script. Love your family, hug them, forgive them, share moments. But when the time comes to decide the direction of your life, go into silence, listen carefully, and trust yourself. Always.